Suddenly, a loud clank echoed from the roof. Mama Dupe and Ayo exchanged startled glances. Then, with a crash, something heavy landed on a table, sending plates and cutlery scattering. The corrugated iron roof of Mama Dupe's store clattered under the Lagos downpour. Inside, steam rose from her spicy egusi soup, a comforting aroma against the grey sky. But Mama Dupe's wasn't comforted. The market was deserted. Not a single soul dared to venture out in this weather. Her stomach rumbled, a duet with the thunder outside. She needed customers badly. Suddenly, a flash of lightning illuminated a figure, huddled beneath a tattered umbrella. A young man, skinny and soaked, stood hesitantly at the edge of the stall. Come in, child," Mama Dupe boomed, her voice warm despite the storm. The young man shuffled in, water dripping from his clothes. He was barefoot, his toes muddy. "Egusi, my boy, warm your insides," Mama Dupe said, ladling a generous portion into a bowl. As he ate, she learned his name was Ayo. He was an apprentice mechanic, but business was slow. "Just my luck," Ayo sighed, "a leaky roof at Mama Nkechi's workshop, and now this storm washes away any hope of customers." Mama Dupe watched the storm rage outside, then leaned closer, her voice dropping to a whisper. "They say sometimes, during the heaviest rains, Yemoje, the river goddess, plays tricks." Ayo's eyes widened. Yemoje was a powerful spirit known to bless fishermen and flood houses if angered. "What kind of tricks?" Ayo asked, his voice barely above a squeak. Mama Dupe winked. "Legend says, during a storm like this, Yemoja cast pots of fortune onto the rooftops of the deserving." Ayo's gaze darted to the corrugated iron roof above, his mind racing. Could there be the truth in Mama Dupe's words? His heart thumped with a strange mixture of hope and fear. Suddenly, a loud clank echoed from the roof. Mama Dupe and Ayo exchanged startled glances. Then, with a crash, something heavy landed on a table, sending plates and cutlery scattering. Cautiously, Mama Dupe and Ayo peered under the table. Nestled amidst the broken crockery lay a large clay pot, its surface slick with rainwater. Ayo gingerly lifted the lid. Their breath caught in their throats. Inside, nestled in a bed of wet clothes, was a pile of crisp dollar bills, a small fortune. Ayo's eyes gleamed. This could solve all his problems. Fix Mama Nkechi's roof. Maybe even help Mama Dupe. But a knot of unease tightened in his stomach. Money falling from the sky felt too good to be true. Mama Dupe knelt, her eyes filled with a mixture of awe and apprehension. "Yemoja gift," she whispered. A sense of responsibility washed over Ayo. Mama Dupe had been kind to him, offering him food and a warm place to wait out the storm. Sharing this unexpected treasure seemed only fair. "Mama Dupe," he started. "Maybe," he was interrupted by a loud voice booming from the entrance. "There you are, boy," Mama Nkechi's worried sick. A burly man, his face contorted in anger, stood at the stall's entrance. It was Baba Kola, Mama Nkechi's husband. Ayo froze. He couldn't be caught with stolen money, even if it was a gift from a river goddess. "Ayo," Baba Kola bellowed, his voice dripping with suspicion. "What are you doing here? And what's that on the table?" Before Ayo could stammer a reply, Baba Kola's gaze fell on the pot of overflowing with cash. His eyes narrowed. "Stealing, are you?" he roared, his hand hovering over his belt. From a kind woman like Mama Dupe stepped forward, her voice surprisingly firm. There's been a misunderstanding, Baba Kola. Ayo had nothing to do with this. Nonsense, he's been missing from the workshop all afternoon. Baba Kola cut her off, snatching the pot. I'll deal with him myself. Ayo felt a surge of panic. He couldn't let Baba Kola take the money. But faced with the angry man's towering figure, his voice failed him. Thankfully, Mama Dupe wasn't done yet. Wait, Baba Kola. This money is a gift, she insisted, her voice gaining strength. A gift? Baba Kola scoffed. From whom? The clouds? From Yemoja, perhaps, Mama Dupe said, her eyes locking with Ayo's. He understood she was creating a story. Understanding dawned on Baba Kola's face. He glanced at the storming sky, a flicker of superstition crossing his features. Yemoja was a force to be reckoned with, even for a bawling mechanic. Yemoja's gift, eh? He muttered, stroking his chin. Interesting. He eyed the pot of money, his greed battling with a hint of fear. Ayo held his breath, his heart hammering against his ribs. All right, Baba Kola finally conceded. His voice grooved. Since it's a gift from a goddess, sharing it seems only right, wouldn't you say? Relief washed over Ayo. Mama Dupe, ever the businesswoman, seized the opportunity. Absolutely, she beamed. Perhaps a first share for each of us, a blessing for honesty and hospitality. Baba Kola considered this, his eyes flickering between them. Finally, with a begrudging grunt, he nodded. Mama Dupe scooped out a third of the money, placing it in a separate bowl. Ayo watched, a silver of hope blossoming in his chest. After dividing the money, Baba Kola grumbled but left with his share. Muttering about crazy weather and delusional women, Mama Dupe let out a shaky breath, wiping her brow. Thank you, Ayo, she said, her voice sincere, for your honesty and for, well, attracting Yemoja's attention. Ayo couldn't help but grin. Maybe the Rainmaker's story wasn't so far-fetched after all. He held out his hands towards the remaining pot of money. Let's fix that leaky roof at Mama Nkechi's first, shall we? He suggested. Mama Dupe's smile widened. An excellent idea. And after that, well, who knows what blessings Yemoja has in store for a kind young man yourself. With renewed hope and a pocket full of cash, Ayo joined Mama Dupe in clearing the debris. The storm outside had begun to subside, replaced by a gentle drizzle. As they walked, Ayo couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of an extraordinary adventure. The next day, Mama Nkechi's workshop buzzed with activity. Ayo, his tools gleaming in the sunlight, expertly patched the leaky roof. Mama Nkechi beamed, her worries replaced by gratitude. Later, as Ayo was about to leave, Mama Dupe called him back. There is something else, she said, her voice hushed. She led him to the back of the store and pointed to the clay pot, now half empty. Take a closer look, she instructed. Intrigued, Ayo picked up the pot. As he tilted it, something clicked against the bottom. He tapped it gently, and a small panel at the base of the pot swung open, revealing a hidden compartment. Inside, nestled in a bed of soft cloth, lay a single gleaming gold coin. It was unlike any coin Ayo had ever seen, intricately etched with symbols he couldn't decipher. His breath caught in his throat. This wasn't just money, it was a treasure, a mystery. Over the next few days, Ayo and Mama Dupe pored over the strange coin. They consulted with local traders, historians, even a visiting university professor, but no one could identify the coin's origin or its worth. The mystery now that Ayo, where did the coin come from? Was it part of Yemoja's gift or something entirely different? The more he looked at the coin, the more convinced he became it held a secret. One afternoon, while browsing through a dusty bookstore, Ayo stumbled upon a book titled Myths and Legends of the Yoruba. As he flipped through the pages, his eyes widened. There, on a faded illustration, was a depiction of a king wearing a necklace adorned with a coin that looked strikingly similar to the one he held. The book spoke of a lost city, swallowed by the jungle centuries ago, ruled by a powerful king who possessed a legendary treasure. A spark of excitement ignited within Ayo. Could this be a clue? He shared his discovery with Mama Dupe, her eyes gleaming with shared curiosity. Together they scoured the library, devouring any book that mentioned the lost city. Finally, in a brittle old text, they found a faded map, its edges crumbling with age. The map depicted a path leading deep into the heart of the Nigerian rainforest, marked with cryptic symbols and warnings. It was a risky proposition, but the lure of adventure and the possibility of uncovering a legendary treasure proved too strong to resist. Ayo and Mama Dupe knew venturing into the rainforest wasn't a walk in the park. Careful planning was essential. Their first stop was Baba Kola's workshop. Despite their recent disagreements, Ayo needed a sturdy backpack and a good machete to navigate the dense undergrowth. He approached Baba Kola cautiously, prepared for another confrontation. "More trouble, boy," Baba Kola barked, wiping his grease-stained hands on a rag. Ayo explained their plan, his voice resistant at first, but growing firmer with each word. Surprisingly, Baba Kola didn't scoff. He listened intently, a glint of curiosity in his eyes. "Lost city, he muttered, stroking his chin. "Sounds like a fool's errand." But he paused, eyeing Ayo. "You remind me of myself at your age, full of foolish dreams and a taste for adventure." He rummaged through a cluttered toolbox and emerged with a sturdy backpack and a hefty machete. "Take this," he grunted, trusting them towards Ayo. "Just be careful out there, alright?" Ayo was speechless. This groove mechanic, who seemed to disapprove of everything, was offering them supplies. But before he could question it, Mama Dupe stepped forward, beaming. "Thank you, Baba Kola," she said warmly. "This could mean a lot to both of us." Baba Kola simply grunted, but a flicker of a smile played in his lips. Next, they visited Mama Ido, the wise woman of the market. Mama Ido, known for her knowledge of herbs and traditional medicine, was their best bet for protection against the rainforest dangers. She listened patiently to their story, then rummaged through her stock of herbs and dried roots. With a worried frown, she prepared a pouch filled with pungent concoctions, mosquito repellent, snakebite remedy, a calming tonic for restless spirits, she explained, handing them the pouch. "But remember, the jungle has a mind of its own. Respect it, and it may respect you back." With their supplies gathered and blessings received, the weight of their decision settled on them. They were about to embark on a journey unlike anything they had ever experienced. Excitement bubbled within Ayo, laced with a healthy dose of fear. He glanced at Mama Dupe, his eyes shining with a mix of determination and trepidation. they were in this together. The day they had set off down bright and humid, they boarded a rickety bus, heading for the edge of the rainforest. As the city faded and lush vegetation swallowed the road, Ayo felt a sense of awe washed over him. The air buzzed with the unseen life of insects and birds. Giant trees, their roots like nailed serpents, reached towards the sky, forming a dense emerald canopy overhead. Following the map's cryptic symbols, they ventured into the heart of the rainforest. The going was tough. Dense undergrowth snagged at their clothes, and the air hung heavy and damp. Ayo hacked away at vines with his machete, while Mama Dupe navigated by landmarks mentioned on the map: a towering kapok tree, a gushing waterfall. Days bled into one another. They rationed their food, sleeping under mosquito nets strung between trees. At night, the jungle came alive with a symphony of unknown sounds: the chilling screeches of owls, the guttural calls of unseen creatures. One evening, as they huddled around a crackling fire, Mama Dupe confessed, "This is starting to feel like a mistake, Ayo. Maybe the lost city is just a myth." Ayo felt a pang of doubt himself. Had they been lured by a fool's dream? But then, as he reached into his pocket, his fingers brushed against the cool metal of the gold coin. It was a tangible reminder of their purpose. "No," he said with forced confidence. "We've come too far to turn back now. The map, it has to lead somewhere." The following day, their trek took a strange turn. The dense undergrowth thinned, giving way to a clearing bathed in an ethereal golden light. In the center stood a sight that stopped them in their tracks: a crumbling stone equi, adorned with cryptic symbols that mirrored the ones on the map. Mama Dupe gasped. "It can't be," she whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. Beyond the archway, a narrow path led deeper into the clearing, disappearing into the ruins of what could only be the lost city. Moss-covered stone peeked through the thick vegetation, hinting at once grand structures. A sudden rustling in the undergrowth sent shivers down their spines. A pair of glowing eyes emerged from the shadows, followed by a sleek black panther. Ayo instinctively reached for his machete, but the creature did nothing. It simply stared at them for a long moment, then silently melted back into the foliage. "A guardian," Mama Dupe murmured, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and excitement. Taking a deep breath, Ayo stepped forward. "We come in peace," he declared, his voice echoing eerily in the stillness. There was no response, only the whisper of leaves in the breeze. But a strange feeling washed over them, a sense of being watched, of unseen eyes observing their every move. Following the path, they entered the lost city. Time seemed to have stood still here. Crumbling buildings, adorned with intricate carvings, rose from the jungle floor. Vines snaked through the broken windows, reclaiming the structures for nature. The air hung heavy with silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves or the shape of an unseen bird. It was an unsettling quiet, a tomb for a forgotten civilization. They moved cautiously, their footsteps echoing on the moss-covered stones. The symbols on the map guided them through a maze of ruined buildings, towards a central structure that seemed more intact than the others. As they approached, a sense of foreboding grew. The air felt colder, and a faint metallic tang filled their nostrils. Reaching the building's entrance, they found a set of massive, ornately carved doors. Ayo hesitated, his hand hovering over the cold metal handle. "What if there is nothing inside?" he whispered. Mama Dupe placed a hand on his shoulder. "We've come this far," she said, her voice firm despite the tremor in her hand. Let's see what secret this place holds. With a deep breath, Ayo pushed open the doors. They creaked open with a groan, revealing a dimly lit chamber. Dust motes danced in a shaft of sunlight filtering through a broken window. Their eyes adjusted to the gloom, revealing a vast chamber filled with an unimaginable treasure trove. Golden statues gleamed in the dim light, white chests overflowing with precious stones and jewels lined the walls. Weapons unlike any they have ever seen hung from the crumbling ceiling. But amidst the riches, their eyes were drawn to a single object at the far end of the chamber. Resting on a pedestal of black stone was a massive golden throne, its armrest adorned with creatures that resembled the panther they had encountered earlier. And on the back of the throne, glinting in the faint light, hung a single gold necklace, identical to the one Ayo had found in the pot. An overwhelming sense of reverence washed over them. This wasn't just a treasure hoard, it was a monument to a lost civilization. They had stumbled upon a place untouched by time, a sacred burial chamber. Suddenly, the ground began to tremble. A booming voice, deep and guttural, echoed through the chamber. Who dares disturb the slumber of the ancestors? Ayo and Mama Dupe spun around, hearts pounding in the shadows. A figure materialized, a tall robed figure with glowing red eyes. It radiated an aura of power and menace. We came in peace, Ayo stammered, his voice barely a whisper. The figure tilted his head, its eyes boring with tears. Peace? You seek the treasures of the lost city, yet claim peace? Shame washed over Ayo. They had been blinded by the lure of riches, forgetting the respect owed to this sacred place. He met the figure's gaze and spoke with newfound resolve. We apologize for disturbing your rest. We came seeking answers, not riches. The coin, he reached into his pocket, holding up the gold coin. What does it mean? The figure studied the coin, its expression unreadable. Then, to their surprise, a flicker of something resembling amusement danced in the glowing eyes. The booming voice softened, almost conversational. Clever for mortals, it rumbled. You found the key but not the answer. Ayo and Mama Dupe exchanged weary glances. A key? What key? But before they could ask, the figure continued. The coin, it explained, is a guidance token. It allows passage through the city's hidden pathways, a test of worthiness for those seeking knowledge, not gold. Understanding down that Ayo. The panther, the strange silence, the wearing threat but test, and they had passed. Knowledge, Mama Dupe ventured. What kind of knowledge? The figure gestured towards the chamber walls. Inscriptions previously unnoticed glowed faintly. The history of our people, it said, its voice tinged with sadness. A warning for those who seek power without responsibility. The chamber walls pulsed with light, revealing intricate murals depicting a glorious civilization brought to its knees by greed and conflict. Ayo felt a chill run down his spine. This wasn't just a lost city, it was a cautionary tale. This guardian, bound to protect their legacy, offered a choice. Live with the knowledge you've gained, the figure boomed, and share it with the world. Or it paused, its voice turning cold. Take the riches and face the consequences. Ayo glanced at the mountain of gold and jewels, his heart pounded. This was their chance to be rich beyond their wildest dreams. But a heavy weight settled in his stomach. The murals on the wall were a stark reminder of what became of this civilization. He looked at Mama Dupe, her eyes filled with a mixture of awe and trepidation. He knew what he had to do. We choose knowledge, he declared, his voice firm. The figure tilted his head. A flicker of approval crossed his features. Wise choice, young one. May your journey be filled with wisdom. With a final boom, the figure dissolved into mist. The chamber walls returned to darkness, the murals fading away. Ayo and Mama Dupe emerged from the lost city, not with riches, but with a story etched in their hearts. The weight of the gold coin in Ayo's pocket felt different now. Not a promise of wealth, but a reminder of a forgotten civilization and the dangers of greed. They had chosen knowledge and with it a responsibility to share the lost city's tragic story with the world. The adventure had just ended, but a new journey, one filled with purpose and the responsibility of a guidance trust, was just beginning. So guys, this is the end of the story. Hope you love it. Please, I would love to hear your thoughts at the comment section. Drop what you think about the story. And please subscribe if you haven't, like this video and share to your friends. See you guys in my next video. Bye.